Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today to share with you this large and multi-photo layout created using the Meow collection from Boulevard. So I have a large photo of Luna. She's our gray tabby sitting under the dining room table. Actually, it's the kitchen table. And then there will be two photos that I will add later off to the side. So I am gutting this floral that will frame the purple with the large photo. I don't know. I go back and forth between gutting and not gutting. Like, I have plenty of pattern paper. Do I really need to do this? But because this is design team product, and I don't know how many layouts I'm going to end up having to create with this, I guess I save it. Who knows, right? And I guess with the way things are, who knows how long we're going to be able to afford this paper. Anyway, so I have matted the photo, and then I know where that purple is. I could have created directly onto that, but I want the white for the contrast, and so I will cut just a piece of white cardstock coming up. So I had thought I would use that large cat and fussy cut it and put it there, but I'm particular in this way, and you'll notice in my work that if I'm doing a, let's say, garden layout, I don't really want to put more tomatoes with tomatoes because I want the tomatoes in the photo to shine. So I don't really want to put more cats with cats, but I will do all the other things like the paw prints and the words. I just don't want to put a cat face next to a cat. And I'm going to hold reservation on that statement because you'll see what's coming up. However, that's generally not kind of my thing. So this is one of the pattern papers. It is literally all just words or phrases related to cats that are in rows, and some of them are colored and they're boxed. So my thought when I saw that was, oh, that'll be a really fun way to just do a bunch of word strips down the edge of the photo, which is perfect because you can see where the bench seat cuts in through the photo, and so it was a way to cover that up and distract it. So there's the white that I referenced earlier. I know that is where I'm going to, so the plan was that's where I'm going to house the title and my journaling. This is going to evolve. So gluing down the actual layout to the matted frame, and then gluing down that white background there. And yeah, so I could have theoretically gutted all of that purple as well, especially given that I use a lot of tone-on tones. That's my preference for pattern paper, but just kind of going with the flow. So to meld in the photo into that white space there, I've used one of the border stickers and trimmed it appropriately. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting out all of the phrases. I want a mix of the white as well as the color because I need that contrast to the shadow of her looking up at me. So I have a few of the phrases, but I know I want to intermingle this with more color. And so I am going to dig through the word ephemera. I am going to speed up the camera here because I don't normally do this on camera. I normally know what I want to do. So I've found the two Polaroid frames, and I'm going to use those for photos over on that right-hand side. And then as I'm shuffling through all of these word ephemera pieces, what I'm looking for are the smaller ones, the ones that are not going to stand out too much. I want them to be about the same size, maybe slightly larger, maybe slightly smaller than the actual word boxes that have been cut out from the piece of pattern paper there. And I'm also looking for a variety of color in that. So I did pull out that larger, that face, which actually ends up becoming the title of the layout. And I'm going to use the word love above that says love that face. So as you can see, I faded into the cutting of these photos because I hadn't originally planned on incorporating these two photos, but I loved those frames and I loved the balance that created to the right-hand side of the page. So I did have additional photos of her under the table, and then from the table she jumped up to the top of the table to sit in the puzzle box. So that's what I am putting into these. So if you put your photo, glue it directly, and you use liquid adhesive like I just did, you have to bend the photo a little bit. So you want to make sure you do that before it dries, or you can do what I'm doing here and just kind of quickly rough cut with your scissors and then go ahead and put the liquid adhesive on. There's two ways of getting those frames backed with photos, or you pattern paper, same idea, right? You want to make sure if you're using liquid adhesive, you do it quickly so that you can still bend it in order to get a clean cut. I decided I was going to pop up one of these frames, again, just for some dimension. I am also going to pop up face in Love That Face, the title. Love will be coming. Love is always coming, right? And so that can overlap the puzzle a little bit, just to tie it all together so that there's some continuity and some flow. And you can see that I have that orange arrow on the left-hand side. So there's a lot of flow from the left over to the right-hand side there. Popping up face, because I've also popped up the frame. And then, so there's the cat face, right? I chose the gray cat face because I have gray cat in the photo, but I don't like it. I don't know. There's just something, it just doesn't work for me. It's the way my brain functions. And so I will remove that later on. And in fact, it's still sitting on one of my lamps above my desk staring at me. So yeah. So I believe I've sped this up as well, because this is literally me just finding a nice flow down the page. I want different lengths, different colors, and then putting in some of the hearts and the paws for texture. So I'm going to mix up, some of the phrases you can see from the sticker sheet there. And you can always banner those too if you want extra banner. You can tail both ends. You can tail one end. It's a great way to just add some variety to all of the boxy phrases that are already there. So there's that love. It came from the piece of pattern paper, and then the title then becomes Love That Face. So I will actually off camera use the letters from the doohickey sticker sheet that says Luna, and I will outline that. Luna is the name of this particular cat. I will outline that with a fine black pen just to add some of that darker contrast. And I will use AKA with some of her pet names and then journal underneath that. I will also take the same fine tip black pen, and I will outline the paws that are on the banner that you can see sort of towards the bottom there, just to pop it out. And also it works with those outlined words from the piece of patterned paper. And that is about all that I will do off camera. I'm pretty sure, you know me, there's always stuff that I'm going to do. So close-ups to follow. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.